Okay guys, welcome to today biology reading class. So we're going to be diving into this reading class for the year 2025. So let me try to zoom it out so you guys can see it very well. So this is year 2025 biology JAMB past question and answer. So we have the PDF with us. So in case you need any of this past question, any of science students past question, JAMB students, science past question, arts and commercial, we have every subject in stock. Updated past question, updated JAMB biology past question and answer. We have everything in stock. So this is our today class. We are going to be reading 2025 biology past question, and here we are going to be doing in this way. So I'm going to show you the question the way I show the question like this. So I'll be zooming it out for you guys to see it very clean and very clear. So you use 30 seconds to read the question, and now after the 30 seconds I will drop the correct answer to each of the question. Okay, to each of the question. That is how we used to do it. So this is 2025 past question. If you have a video there also, you can also open it so we can learn together. You have to put yourself in a solid mode, so keep yourself from where you can get distracted. So let's go to the question one, and I will drop the correct option immediately after 30 seconds of this waiting. Pick your answer. You can let me know your answer in the comment section before I drop the correct answer. So let's go. Are we ready to go? Yeah, let's start. Question one. Read the question one and drop your answer, and pick your answer, and I will drop the correct answer immediately after 30 seconds. So let's go. So correct option to question the question one rather is option B. That's correct option to question one. That is option B. So let me try to indicate it. That is option B. So let's move to question two. So read the question to question two. The options are not there. So read the question to question two. Okay. So let's go to the more question on that question two. So okay, there's a continuation of the question two. Pay the correct answer. The correct option to question two is option B. So let's move to question three. The correct option to question 3 is option B. So let's move to question 4. The correct option to question 4 is option B. So let's move to question 5. The correct option to question 5 is option B. So let's move to question 6. The correct option to question 6 is option C. So let's move to question 7. The correct option to question 7 is option A. So let's move to question 8. The correct option to question 8 is option B. So let's move to question 9. The correct option to question 9 is option C. So let's move to question 10. The correct option to question 10 is option C. So let's move to question 11. The correct option to question 11 is option B. So let's move to question 12. The correct option to question 12 is option B. So let's move to question 13. The correct option to question 13 is option B. So let's move to question 14. The correct option to question 14 is option C. Option B rather. Option B. Let's move to question 15. The correct option to question 15 is option B. So let's move to question 16. The correct option to question 16 is option C. So let's move to question 17. The correct option to question 17 is option B. So let's move to question 18. The correct option to question 18 is option C. So let's move to question 19. The correct option to question 19 is option B. So let's move to question 20. correct option to question 20 is option C. So let's move to question 21. The correct option to question 21 is option B. So let's move to question 22. Okay, let me draw this one very well. The correct option to question 22 is option B. So let's move to question 23. The correct option to question 23 is option C. So let's move to question 24. The correct option to question 24 is option C. So let's move to question 25. The correct option to question 25 is option D. So let's move to question 26. The correct option to question 26 is option C. So let's move to question 27. The correct option to question 27 is option B. So let's move to question 28. The correct option to question 28 is option C. So let's move to question 29. Correct option to question 29 is option B. Let me see question 30. The correct option to question 30 is option C. So let's move to question 31. Correct option to question 31 is option C. So let's move to question 32. The correct option to question 32 is option A. So let's move to question 33. The correct option to question 33 is option B. So let's move to question 34. So read this. Which of the following is an example of naturalistic? So let's look at the option. So you have the options here. So the correct option to question 34 is option C. So let's move to question 35. Correct option to question 35 is option B. So let's move to question 36. Correct option to question 36 is option B. So let's move to question 37. Correct option to question 37 is option A. Let's move to question 38. The correct option to question 38 is option B. So let's move to question 39. The correct option to question 39 is option C. So let's move to the question 40, which is the last question of this biology. The last question on this biology. The correct option to question 40 is option C. So this is the last question on this 2025 biology JAMB Biology past question and answer. So in case you need the past question, you can let me know in the comment section. And give the list of the past question you need. We have every subject in stock. Give the list of the past question you need, so I will direct you to how to download it. You can see the question it's well detailed explanatory answer. You can see the option question 1, option A, everything is well explained. Everything is well explained there. So everything is well explained. You can see everything is well explained in the past question I'm using right now. Everything is well explained. You can see everything is well explained. So that becomes the end of this 2025 reading class. So in our next one we will move to 2024. So this is the 2024 past question. We have everything in stock. This is 2024 past question. You can see this 2024 past question. So our next class will come to the 2024 past question. So in case you have any question, you can let me know in the comment section. Maybe the option I pick, you have any question based on it, so you can let me know in the comment section so we can look at it together. So that will come to the end of this 2025 biology JAMB past question and answer. So let's meet the next class for another interesting reading class for all other subjects and more past question on this biology.